بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا إلى يوم الدين. Our dear viewers of Noor Media, we welcome you in our second podcast. We are here purposely to give the Islamic teachings concerning different aspects of life. Like we did in the first podcast, we are having a guest, and that is Sheikh Yusuf, and I will request him to introduce himself.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بارك الله فيك شيخ.
فيكم بارك الله.
So this is Yusuf Zaki. I'm a teacher and teacher educator with Al-Azhar institutions and university missionary. That Al-Azhar University is sending people abroad for the purpose of da'wah. So it was, alhamdulillah, my good luck to meet you here in Uganda.
Alhamdulillah, barakallah fika wa jazakallah khairan. So with our guest, still the host is Luqman Kabuga, and the topic is going to be about the rights of a wife towards the husband. And this topic, our interest is going to be majorly about the rights concerning the wife towards the husband. And after introducing this topic, let me request our Sheikh to give us more enlightenment in line with the topic. Sheikh Zaki, can you help our viewers to understand more about the rights? Because here this topic is looking at the rights, but our viewers would like to know what's the meaning of the word rights. And actually, being that we are having the rights, still we have what we call the duties. What is the difference between the rights and the duties?
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه
صلى
وسلم.
الله عليه وسلم.
الحمد لله رب المشارق والمغارب، خلق الإنسان من طين لازم فجعل منه زوجه
نعم.
وجعل منه الأبناء والأحفاد والأقارب.
الحمد لله.
سيدي يا رسول الله، روحي بحبك في الضياء تهيم، والشوق مني في هواك عظيم، والقلب مسرور بذكر محمد،
صلى الله
في
عليه
ذكره
وسلم.
نور وفيه نعيم.
نعم.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam didn't
صلى الله
leave
عليه وسلم.
anything, even minor or major, until he
Taught it to the ummah.
true. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the ayah اليوم أكملت لكم
دينكم
دينكم وأتممت عليكم
نعمتي
ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا.
دينا. نعم.
So the word right in Islam, it's a kind of a privilege, something you want to have it for yourself. Like, for example, your right is to be dealt nicely. Your right is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala freely. Your right is to eat good food.
All of those are rights.
They are rights. And when it comes, or on the other hand, the word duty is the opposite side, which is something you have to do it.
So it is on you as a human being what you have to do.
Exactly. Like what is asked from you
To implement.
or to be done.
Oh.
So if you see it like in a big picture, that the word right includes everything you acquire, but when it comes to duty, it's everything you give out.
So with a right, it is what you're receiving. And then with a duty, it is what you're giving
What
out.
you give out. But in between, there is a kind of a simple thing, it's called the responsibility of the right and the responsibility of the duty.
On that very point, if we are talking about the rights of a wife towards a husband. Our viewers would like to understand, after them getting to know that the difference between the two, with a right, meaning that it is the wife receiving. Then with a duty, it is a wife to give out. So what are some of those rights that Islam taught
To the wife.
a wife has to receive in line with the rights?
You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. It's the only religion, dear brother Luqman, which gives the woman the complete rights to be like a man. Do you know that? A woman is like a man in Islam. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a man some duties and rights. But on the other side, He gives the wife other rights and other duties. So we are equal in somehow, but in some issues Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give a privilege for the husband over the woman, and for the woman over the man.
So everyone is having some privileges.
Exactly, because if you even talk to about, if you think deeply about the human nature, a woman can manage things that a man cannot. And a man can manage things which the woman cannot. Naturally. Even if you are not a Muslim, even if you don't believe even in God. So it's like, it's nature. Like for example, a man can fight easily. A woman cannot. Even if she has a lot of training. A man can wash the clothes, but is it as clean as a woman when she washes?
No.
It is not.
It cannot be the same.
Wallah, it cannot. A man can cook, but can he be as good as a woman?
No.
So that's exactly how the word right and duty came to our religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He speaks about the rights and the duties, it's about the abilities that you can give and the abilities that you can acquire or take according to your
nature.
And be careful. Be careful about this definition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala إِذَا كَلَّفَ أَعَانَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He gives some duties and rights, it means He will just plan and give you what is suitable, not what you want, but what is good for you.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives what suits you, but not what you want or you desire as a human.
Exactly. And if you look at people nowadays, you will find a lot of complaints, like a lot of nagging things, a lot of problems between, especially in houses. And I think it has some reasons. Number one, because they do not be taught, educated on this issue of marriage. This is number one. And the second issue, that you may have someone who's a Muslim by family only. Because he came to life, he found the father and the mother Muslim, so he converted or he becomes a Muslim by family, not by working on it, by knowledge, by going in depth with the ta'lim, the teachings of Islam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He gives this ayah, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, a woman has as good or bad amount of things as a man gets, but بالمعروف, according to Allah, who knows what suits you. You see, this meaning is very deep. So now, when we are talking about a wife, I mean a wife who follows the Sharia, who tries to improve her community, I mean the house, to be onto the steps of Islamic community, a woman who cares a lot about bringing up good generation to have an impact on other people in the future. So if she follows the religion, she will be the happiest mood. She will get the happiest life, because she will get what suits her, not what she desires. Because some people, they desire happiness, they get it from marijuana and smoking, and by the end of the day they will get a lot of headache, a lot of diseases
with any effect.
Exactly. But whenever you follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala words and teachings, you will find it all are following nature,
without any harm.
nothing.
MashaAllah.
So if we are to start about what are the rights that a woman should or supposed to get from the husband.
Exactly.
Number one,
Yes.
mahru.
Al-Mahr.
Al-mahr. You call it dowry in English.
Yes.
Aha. Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لا نكاح إلا بمهر وشاهدين. That a woman cannot get married or going in the sexual intercourse
Yes.
before getting her mahr.
Mahr. So this is the amount that is given to a woman when she's entering marriage.
Exactly.
And on that very aspect, is this mahr being decided by a woman, or it is the man to take a decision that for me I'm giving you this?
You see, when it comes to the definition of the word mahr, it means the amount of the money or the amount of things in general, because it may be gold in some cultures.
So it
may
can be money or any
diamond.
other thing.
It can be like something. So it's the amount of things agreed on by the parents of the woman after talking to the girl itself.
Oh, so it is the girl to make the final decision about the mahr.
Exactly.
Mashallah.
Exactly. And there is no exact amount in Islam for the mahr. So that's why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أكثرهن بركة أقلهن أو أيسرهن مهرا. The woman comes with a lot of barakah to your house, to your room, is the one who makes it easy for halal.
So she simplifies the mahr.
But not
by
too much,
not
my brother.
making
Don't
No.
get my word into the bad way.
Now, for me, what I'm understanding with the mahr, you say that aisaruhunna, the one who simplifies.
Yes.
So in line with that a lady can take a decision that according to the way I'm seeing my man, he can give me $1. And if that is her decision, does Islam allow that?
I think yes, but you know, Islam is not far from what is happening in the world nowadays. After that kind of technology, about what is happening in the world, as we see, easy come, easy go.
Yes.
So a girl should have some kind of wisdom, hikmah. So she sees the man can afford this, cannot afford that. So she can make him to work hard to get her. At the same time, she knows that she cannot ask beyond his affordness.
Yes.
You got my point?
The ability of the man.
Exactly. So now, this is number one, which is mahru.
So
And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, قال إنكحها ولو بخاتم من حديد, which means the woman must ask for mahr, even if it's very little, but she cannot leave it for the man. She cannot, or it will turn the marriage into zina.
So without mahr, there is
No nikah.
So with mahr, it is a valid one.
Exactly. So what if the man reaches an agreement with the girl, and he asks her, he convinced her, he persuades her that I'm in poor state right now, I'm not financially stable, you have to support me, you have to just leave the mahr, what, and the girl accepts. So this is haram. Can you imagine?
So Islamically, if it is a right of a lady to receive al-mahr, in line with the Islamic guidelines, I'm not allowed to persuade her to leave the aspect of mahr.
You are not allowed as a man, even if she loves you, even if.
That one, it is a right of her.
Yeah, it's her right by Allah, not you. So you have to accomplish that right.
MashaAllah.
So this is number one.
Yes.
Number two,
Yes.
one of the best rights, not the best, one of her rights is providing her with what she needs.
giving her what she needs,
النفقة,
receiving from the man.
expenses, or I say expenses.
In English, sometimes they terms it as bills.
Bills like health, medicals,
Yes.
dressing up
Yes.
properly, renting,
Yes.
providing food, providing clean water. All of these things is her rights. She cannot leave one of them. This is Islam. You see, in other sharias or in other religions, she cannot ask for these things. They say, we are human beings, we are the same. You pay, I pay. You don't pay, I don't pay.
For
So
them, on the
subhanallah.
other side, they take it on a humanitarian level, whereby you have to look through my pocket, like, today I'm not in position. But Islamically, it is a right of a lady
Exactly,
to
my
receive
brother.
from a man.
Bills is one of the best rights for the woman. She cannot suffer if she has a good husband. I mean Muslim for sure.
Yes.
And number 3, which is husnul ishara, living with peace.
I know.
One of the best things that a man can afford or can offer to the woman is to create, is to make.
A peaceful environment.
Exactly, because you may find a man who is very stubborn. It happens.
And very harsh.
Rude.
Very tough.
Exactly. And he's saying, I'm the man. You are not. You are not. So, husnul ishara.
So, Sheikh, in Husn al-Ishara, we look at a point whereby ladies like to be involved in decision making, whereby a man can take a decision, like today I want you to do such and such and such, and then the lady is like, you didn't involve me in the decision you made. How is that Islamically? Because in creating that husn al-ishara, the
You have to share.
peaceful environment, is it Islamic for a man to share with a lady?
Actually, we are going to talk about that issue in detail, about the combining factors between the man and the woman and the woman and the man. But let me just give you a hint that living, there is a big difference between living together and loving each other. If you take a woman as a friend and as a mother and as a daughter, Islamically, then that's what we call love. But if you take her as a partner only, just a partner,
Yes.
with its meaning, it means you may have a secretive person outside your house. You may share her something, but you hide the other things. So you know in that part that you are not fully in love with this girl
Subhanallah.
as a husband.
So you have to be considerate to her in making decisions,
Yes.
because here we are looking at creating a peaceful environment for her to live in. So with all of that, seeing her as a friend, seeing her as a mother to your kids, so that peaceful environment has to be created.
It has to. Or you will suffer together. You will suffer. There is no choice.
If one side is not balancing,
Or if someone is offering every time and someone is just neglecting all the time. So it's a life of Tom and Jerry. It's not a life of wife and husband.
yes,
Not so?
yes.
So al-mahru, this is one, the first right.
The first aspect,
And the second one, which is nafaqa, provision or billings, or as you call it, expenses. And number 3, which is husnul ishra, creating. I mean it, creating, because space is not here. You have to create it for
You have to
yourself.
create it.
Exactly,
Yes.
you have to exert some effort.
It doesn't bring itself. Not until you put in some efforts to see that it is provided within the
That's true. And number 4, which is one of her rights, is to feel that the man is jealous.
Come again?
To feel, the wife is to feel that the man is jealous and he is caring.
Jealous in his caring. How?
What I mean here, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
Sallallahu
wasallam
alaihi
one
wasallam.
day he was hungry. You see, because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is our role model.
Of course.
He was loving every and each wife given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to him. But he loved Aisha so much.
Very much.
And she was very jealous.
Of course.
So one day, one of the mothers of believers sent him like some food, and the food was very delicious. And when Aisha saw that food, and it was her night to come and eat in her house, so she took the food and she threw it away, and even she broke the plate.
Not wanting the Prophet to eat that.
Yes, because it's not your right. It's my night, so I have to cook, I have to wash, I have to do everything. And then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, خُلِقْنَا مِنْ ضِلْعٍ أَعْوَجٍ, which means every woman is like that. You see, they are our role models in life. They are our examples in life. But when it comes to human nature, they are all the same, my brother.
Yes.
So if a woman cannot feel that the man is jealous and protective, like he wants to protect her from those people from the street, from those thieves, from what, she feels that this man is not a real man.
So among the rights of a lady, it is this man to show that protection,
Exactly.
being overprotective, or showing that he cares.
Yes,
for
I'm
this
caring,
lady.
but not only by words. You have to offer something that shows I'm caring.
And by the way, on that very point of feeling jealous of the woman, we look to an aspect whereby if a lady, I know that she's coming from somewhere, and then I'm trying to be on her neck to know where she has reached, where she has, maybe she is about to reach home, what. Is that what you're trying to bring out? Like
Exactly,
a
and you have to
man-
know she's talking to who
Yes.
and why. There is no privacy in that sector. As long as you see the world now is going crazy. A lot of zina, a lot of bad things is happening, and a lot of shayateen al-ins, bad people everywhere. They have evil for nothing. You may have someone who's guesting by you when he has bad heart. So you have to know what is happening to your family, what is happening to your wife. So mahru, and then an-nafaqatu,
أيوة.
and then حسن العشرة,
أيوة.
and then الغيرة والاعتدال. And one of the rights, which is right number 5,
Yes.
عدم الإضرار في النفس والمال. You cannot harm her physically and financially. It's her right.
So it is a right of a lady to feel comfortable, whereby she expects no harm from the husband.
Yes,
She expects no harm financially.
exactly. And let me ask you a question here. Who is the nearest neighbor to you?
Of course, it is the wife.
The neighbor is your wife.
Yes.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
Sallallahu
wasallam
alaihi
said, ليس منا من لم يأمن جاره بوائقه. He is not a true believer. He is not a true Muslim if you cannot avoid the harm of the other partner. It means if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel peace with that person, it means you have some problems with your iman, with your belief. You are not fully a good believer.
And by the way, that one should be part of our thinking as we the Muslims. Because you find in a house whereby a husband is at home, a wife is like, when is he going at work? When is he moving out? She's not feeling the peace at home because the neighbor is not bringing comfortability.
That's true.
That's not Islamic.
But everything comes for a reason. So you have to work on your side as a husband to create peace, as we said, حسن العشرة.
Yes.
And the woman also, at the same time, she has to try to create that environment. So it's a win-win situation. It cannot work on one side when the other side is not.
So whenever one side is being catered for well, another side will be automatically very good.
That's true. So now, when it comes to the number 6, the rights of the woman is تعليمها أمور الفرض والنفل. تعليمها, teaching your wife about what is obligatory to be done and what is sunnah, what is bid'ah. It's her right, because a woman is still a woman.
Of course.
She cannot be more than a woman. She is shy by nature. She is not outgoing so much by nature. She is not outgoing and easygoing with people by nature, but a man is.
Of course.
So you have to deliver what you learn from your mosque, from the khutbah of Jum'ah, from the khutbah of this and this, and you bring it home, you take it home with you.
So in other words, it is a right of a lady to be uplifted, to be given some kind of courage to add on her deen. So there should be some support from a man to uplift the deen or the religion or the iman of this lady.
Exactly, that's what I meant. And the last thing, or the last right of the woman, not the last, I mean, maybe I forgot something, but what I remember now is the right of fairness, to feel fair if the husband has many wives, to feel that the husband is fair.
And it is one of the hardest things.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it in the Holy Quran. He said, Masna wa thulatha wa ruba'a, but you complete the ayah, don't stop like that. فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا
فَوَاحِدَةً.
You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he mentioned that issue of taking more than one wife, he didn't stop and said masna 2, thulatha 3, and 4. No, you have to take it all. You have to take the ayah all. So you have to say فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ, if you just feeling
having
that you will not be fair, so it's haram.
So whenever you feel like you won't be fair between them,
so it's a haram for you.
Better to stay with one.
That's it. Allah said that.
Because it is her right to get the fairness.
Exactly. Of medicals, of dressing ups, makeup, perfumes, school fees for the kids, renting, taking care of her, going out from one time to another. So you, as I told you, my brother, you have to help in creating peace. And how can you create it? You have to pay for that. You have to afford something.
So thank you very much, Sheikh Yusuf. In line with the rights, we have got to know what are the rights of a woman towards the husband concerning al-mahar, the peace, the provision, feeling jealous of others like that. So what are some of the duties? Because with the rights, it is at the receiving end. The woman was receiving from a man. So what are those duties a woman or a lady must provide, must do for a man to receive? The duties.
What do you think if we complete it in after the rights of the husband towards his wife? What do you think about that?
Okay, it will be very fine. Our dear viewers of New Media, this is our topic that we are trying to break down the rights of a lady or the rights of a woman that she's supposed to receive from a husband. And you as a viewer, are you in line to understand this? Because Islam enlightened each and every aspect that we have to move with in our lives concerning the families that we are building, because when you look at that aspect, a family, it is one of the vital and very important point that everyone can discuss about. So you as a husband, are you in position to provide these rights to your lady, to your woman, the mother of your kids? And you as a wife, are you receiving this? So if you're not receiving this, help him to understand, help him to recall what should be given to you as a mother. Sheikh Yusuf, in conclusion, what can you tell a husband who has failed to provide the rights of a lady?
Just a piece of advice for myself, because I'm a husband,
Of course.
and for all my fellow Muslims,
Yes.
that dealing with your family as if it's a business is demolishing the family concerns and real meaning. Just your family concerns, your family comes first. So if you do not provide them with everything you can, then you are going to destroy not only your life but even your next generation.
So you have to be very careful when it comes to a family whereby
And
they
you
are
try,
your
you
priority.
really try, you really try hard to do your duties as much as you can.
Thank you very much for that enlightenment in line with the Islamic teachings. Our dear viewers, this is still Noor Media talking about aspects of life, aspects that we need to understand as we, the Muslims, things that maybe you knew about but you have forgotten to apply them. Because in Islam we have a saying that فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. We really need to be reminded about very many aspects. Maybe if you view such a video from Noor Media, it will help you to recall whatever you have to do as a Muslim. Thank you very much for being with us on Noor Media. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward you the best. وهذا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
عليكم
وبركاته.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.